I have a tremendous amount of respect for great executors. In fact, one of the most important things that leaders can do, or something that I've aimed to do, is surround myself with people that are just masters of execution. And life just becomes so much easier, better, more exciting. I think if you look at it on the converse, there's sometimes nothing more frustrating than being around a bunch of people where everybody just has a bunch of ideas and nothing can move forward. No progress is being made. It's just everything, it becomes a brainstorming session of wouldn't it be nice or wouldn't it be cool, that type of nonsense. And then you're frustrated because at the end of the day, no progress was made. Then the same, a week goes by, a month goes by, a quarter goes by, and you're like, but I had all these great ideas. Why can't we move things forward? And not everybody is a great executor. So I think an example of this is our COO, Alex. She runs the day-to-day of the organization. We meet every single week, multiple times a week, but when we're mapping things out and we go through all of our company initiatives every single week, the status of those, any company rocks, any progress on any campaigns, projects, those sort of things. And when we're mapping anything out and we sit down and go through it, and then from there, she maps out the execution plan, including every single deliverable that must be met, who's going to be accountable for what the timelines look like, what the milestones look like. And then we are meeting on a consistent cadence, and she's providing me with those updates. Now, it's not always her even doing every step of it. Sometimes she's delegating that to, let's say, our director of operations, who's delegating it to somebody else. I mean, it just kind of moves through the chain of how do we really expand our capacity and execute multiple projects at the same time, but have good rhythms and consistent updates to know how things are progressing. If they're stuck, so we can kind of go through those and address any challenges or any problems. But an example could be, right now we're working on a major expansion of our ecosystem. And we've gone through what are the success criteria, what does it look like? We've gone through the whole time investment, financial investment, the impact, and we have probably hundreds of milestones for this one expansion, for example. All the needs required in terms of all the standard operating procedures that must be created, all the hiring needs, all the training and development needs, how we're going to position it, how we're going to market it, what it's going to look like, the impact that it will make, internal checks and balances, the data and analytics, all of that is being mapped out. And when you look at through a list of things, it's 1,000 things must be done in order for something to really get off the ground and have great execution. The same goes anytime we conduct a workshop or when we do any of our conferences. If people only knew the behind the scenes of what goes into a Crisp Game Changers Summit, I mean, they see it, when they see the speakers on stage, but if there was a list of items, and I'm confident there is one, the good news is I just don't ever have to see it, there's probably thousands of items that must be checked off every single time one of these events comes together, from the mailers to the gift bags to what's happening in terms of catering to what's happening on AV to the entire everything that's happening from the production process, every single video that goes live, even the check-in process itself would be a 100-step plus process. So if you add all this up, it's thousands of things that have to be executed on, and none of this will happen if you don't have a team that's focusing on execution and really dialing things out. How do you eat an elephant? It's one bite at a time.